All right. Gentlemen, start your engine! Drivers, start your engines!
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Remember what I told all my drivers? Reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time! Drivers, start your engines!
And gentlemen, start your engine!
And welcome back to the Green White Checkered Podcast. I'm Andrew. I'm joined with Joe, Zach, and Austin. We're here to talk about All-Star Weekend in North Wilkesboro. Just want to start off saying, we had Joey Logano lead 199 laps out of 200. The only lap he did not lead was under caution. Yeah. So I'm just going to ask, and I want a quick answer here. Joe, good or bad race?
Bad. Not the worst short track race ever, but bad.
Zach?
Bad.
Austin?
Bad.
Andrew?
Got music in the background. So this is, it's hard for me because was it the worst?
Weird thing to admit right now.
Yeah. Not the worst thing we've ever seen, right? Better than Texas, better than last year's North Wilkes, I think. But
What are we doing? Are we comparing this? Are we talking relative to short to
yeah, let's go
All-Star races?
relative All-Star races since Charlotte over.
I mean, I think the All-Star race has been dog shit since it left Charlotte. I'm gonna say it. It just doesn't
Yeah.
have the same vibe for
I
me.
agree.
Last year was
100%.
super cool because it was back to North Wilkesboro and it was like we were all hyped up about it. But I would have much rather seen North Wilkesboro get an actual date and just go back to Charlotte. But I'm a traditionalist.
Yeah, I've mentioned it before, and one of the things growing up that I really wanted to do was, do a whole week down in Charlotte for the All-Star race and then the 600 and just
So
go to
much
all
fun.
events. I mean, that was back when you had the good, pit crew challenges and all the other
Mhm.
stuff going on, and now it's not
It's
there.
nothing. It's so different. Because I grew up in Charlotte, and I've talked about this in like our Discord. Like you had the All-Star race on Saturday, great race to bring new people to, and then you had in downtown Charlotte, they had the main street just blocked off, and it was called Speed Street. It was so fun. You had food, you had NASCAR activities, you could do the little pit crew gun, and then you got 600 on Sunday. It was so fun, and now it's not that, and it sucks.
It
I
was
want it
like
back.
Speed Week.
Yeah. Now Speed Week is like Friday night off of turn 1 at the track, and it's
Yeah.
not fun.
I always get excited when they send out the email or whatever, like, oh, like Speed Street, and then it's literally just the midway.
Yeah. That's terrible.
Yep. So this race got a 36.9 on the Gluck poll. I feel like that's even inflated because of what happened
Inflated.
after the race. We're not going to get into it. Yeah, not yet.
I
But
know.
I mean, I'd probably put it there, honestly. It was better than what we've had. There was some more passing for a short track race, but obviously it wasn't for the lead. We had on the restart some battling, but again, that's what this car has been pretty much from the get-go. That's why we have stage cautions, stuff like that. Get those cars closer together, right, Zach?
Yeah, I
But-
love it.
Oh, go ahead.
I think the other part of the problem is too, like what makes something that I don't think gets talked about enough. What makes short tracks so fun to watch is having to deal with lap traffic. And when you're doing an
Yeah.
all-star race, you only have a 20 car field. You're just not getting that. So
Yep.
there's that aspect of it too. So I don't know. Just take it back to Charlotte.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but you saw the truck race was way better because they had a full
Truck
field.
race was very good. Well,
Yeah,
truck was
I
better
mean-
for several reasons, but
Right.
yeah, I
but
mean
they
the
have a
truck
full,
race was really good.
they got 40
Yeah.
cars out there. So
Well, I mean, you saw when Joey caught Bubba and Bubba was racing him,
yeah.
Joey couldn't get past, and all of a sudden we had a little bit of a race for the lead, but then there's your halfway point and
Yeah.
re-rack
you
it,
can't-
and
And he was trying to move him out of the way too, and he couldn't. I mean, he probably wasn't trying to like wreck him, because why do that in the beginning of a race?
it's not Kyle
like,
Busch.
Yeah. But it's like it's partly the car too. These cars are just glued to the ground. So unless you wreck them, they're not going anywhere.
Yeah. What do you guys think of the repave?
It's
Better than expected, I think.
seemed pretty good. Yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of the drivers liked it, and
I
it
think
seemed like they had.
Oh, sorry, Joe. I didn't know.
No, I was just gonna say it seemed like they had multiple. It wasn't just a one lane train around. They had a couple lanes they could work with.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think any good that you saw in the Cup race Sunday was due to the repave, not due to the
Right.
new tire.
Yeah.
Which I was thinking about. I saw Dale Jr. clip. He was talking about how great the repave was, and I'm not saying he's wrong, but he was saying about how it was so great because there's multi grooves and all that stuff. And I just think it's kind of funny because what's the thing that everybody says killed Bristol was when they made it multi groove and took them all off the bottom. So it's kind of funny to think about, like, what ruined Bristol is somehow what made North Wilkesboro great. I don't understand, but whatever. It was good.
I will say I am a little worried about North Wilkes eventually just becoming like Bristol, where it's the high line only that you can pass on. But no, I thought it was an improvement. Obviously the truck race was also very good because of the multi-groove racing. But I will say at the start of the weekend, I think Denny Hamlin was just he had to be the happiest guy alive when RFK posted that picture of the track already being patched and the turns.
Yes.
But I mean, we had no problems with it coming up during the race and all that. And like Joe said, the drivers loved it. So I think we had a big win on this one. And, hand it to Marcus, even though there was some problems with it already. But yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, the option tire, though. It didn't work like we expected it to, did it?
No.
Not one bit.
Yeah.
I think that's the other thing that makes this race seem bad is that we all got super hyped up about this option tire and the potential of it. And then
100%.
It just it looked like any other race. Like if I wouldn't have known they were running an option tire, I would have had no idea. Like anything was different.
Right. Yeah.
It looked the same. I mean, you even had, like, who was it? The first 4 guys or 4 or 5 guys stayed out on lap whatever caution that was. When Ricky and Kyle had their thing, and everybody else pitted and changed to the hard tire. And the thought was, well, after so many laps, them guys up front, they're gonna fall off like crazy, and the guys in the hard tires will fly up, and that just never happened.
Didn't happen.
No.
Right.
Yeah. So I think
it just seems like they just made a faster tire. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. It proves that the Bristol thing, again, fluke. They have no idea what happened. And there's just no fall off with this tire. It didn't wear like they expected it to. And apparently this new service is very coarse. Should eat up tires. And it's not. So I'd like to say it's better, but
I will say in the defense, unless the trucks are running a super hard tire too. But, like, I mean, them guys had, like, cautions sort of late in the race, and you didn't see anybody trying to pit for tires. So you'd think if tires, even in that series, were super advantageous, they would have pitted and taken them.
Yeah.
But maybe the trucks have a super hard tire. I don't know. But we didn't get what we wanted to see. That's short of it.
Right.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is we just got our expectations and hopes up really high because we have a repaved track. We have, North Wilkesboro, there's just this aura around it that, everybody wants to see awesome racing and expects it. But yeah, and then the option tire, we're like, yeah, cool, good tire again, Bristol, all this. And then it was just nothing.
Yeah.
It's still this car on a short track. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You can, whatever you throw at it, if the tires rock hard and even with a repave, old track, whatever, you're gonna get the same thing, So you got to figure something out, and tire wear would help some of it, of course, but obviously I think more than that too.
Horsepower,
yeah,
please.
Yep.
Don't say it. That's a dirty word. That's a dirty word.
I know.
I don't think that's gonna fix it though.
No, it's not. It's not the end all be all. Of course. Go ahead, Zach.
I think it's a combination of things. Like, I think people need to realize that just horsepower alone won't fix it. You need a horsepower, you need a tire, like, you need to take grip out of the car. I don't care how you do it, but there's just way too much mechanical grip in the car. And you need to add the horsepower to burn the rear tires off these things. But it's just, I don't know. We're not going to get it. NASCAR, my concern is I think NASCAR has found, like, their scapegoat with this Goodyear tire. Like, they could just
100%.
It's just the tire. Like, oh, we can't do anything. We're working with Goodyear. It's the tire. Like, it's just they found something to blame it on, and I think they're just going to ride on that for a while. And Goodyear's
Yep.
just going to say, "Oh well, shucks, we just make too good of a tire. We don't know how to make a bad tire." And
Yeah. Well, Denny said this
going.
week it sounded like NASCAR just like hell no to horsepower because he said probably not getting horsepower, so we gotta figure out something else with the tire shifting. All that. This shifting would taking that away would help too. But
To an
yeah,
extent.
I mean, it
to
wouldn't.
an extent. Well, I know.
I don't
Yeah,
think
again, it's a combination of things, right? More horsepower,
Well,
no shifting. I don't know.
right. If you just take shifting away, then you're just going to bog these things down coming out of the corner. So it's like,
Right.
yeah, there's no one fix. I mean, I think a really interesting fix, and I think we've talked about it before. I know you and I have, Andrew, about just raise them up, raise the cars up. You don't even got to take the diffusers up. If you raise them up 2 or 3 inches, the diffusers aren't going to do anything.
Yeah.
So if you want to leave the diffusers on there, go ahead. But I think take the diffuser off, lift them up.
That's going to fix your dirty air. It's going to help the guy behind. And then I think the other part is you'd have to raise that rear bumper up to where another car can get up close enough to force air underneath and get, manipulate it and get that guy loose. And you can't do that right now because we've made this so you can bump draft at super speedways better. And I don't know. There's a lot of problems that need to be addressed. And I know we're sitting here as just, fans, but God damn, it's not that hard to see what needs to happen.
Yeah, they just got to fix the tire. That's it. I found it.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, the tire is a big problem. We need fall off. I think every full tire run needs to have at least 3 seconds of fall off. So I don't know what a full run is at North Wilkes. Let's just say 70 laps. I want 3 seconds of fall off. Yeah.
See, and that's the other problem too. We don't get full runs anymore. So like we want a tire that falls off even faster than historically because we have stages. Whoop, something just booped in Discord. I don't know what that was.
Oop.
Can you guys still hear me? Is that all good?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, whatever. I don't know what happened. Anyway, like with stages and everything and how things shake out now, we don't get like the full fuel runs anymore. They just split everything in half. So I mean, we're probably fitting a good 10, 15 laps short of like a typical fuel run in a stage, and then like in a third stage, we like split up in half or into 3 portions. So, kind of to defend Goodyear a little bit, like I think we're running. I haven't done the math on this, obviously, but it feels like we're running less laps on a set than we used to as well.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you remember the days where you couldn't go a full fuel run on tires though? Like,
yeah.
I mean, there was some track. I don't think
it wasn't
ever
every track,
where
but
you,
it did
where
happen.
You couldn't, like you wouldn't be able to, but like you couldn't because of the time. Like you would just lose so much time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To where it just
and
would
I mean,
benefit you in pitting.
To an extent, I guess that kind of happens, but not like it used to. I don't know. It's a mess. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. We need multiple things to change to get the racing better. And it sounds like NASCAR is at least going to try because we got a test at Iowa and Martinsville coming up that are now scheduled, which cool.
Speaking of tests.
Oh,
just talking about Joey Logano leading every lap. He had 800 laps at freaking North Wilkesboro in a test.
That's insane.
That's kind of shitty, isn't it?
That is shitty, yeah.
Well, he wasn't the only one. But all of the cars that ran that test ran really well, whereas the other guys didn't.
Weird. It's like on track time
helps.
IRL actually is really beneficial.
Nah, that can't be it. That can't be it.
I usually will mark down who does tire tests and testing at tracks, and this one I missed, and I'm kicking myself for it now just because Logano went out there and led 199 laps.
I didn't realize he ran 800 laps. I knew he was doing a test, but I didn't know
like
he said he went through like 30 some sets of tires. Jesus.
Yeah, I should have put a lot of money on him.
Yeah. He was one of those I looked at him like, nah, there's no fucking way. And well, I'm wrong. We're really wrong, but
yeah.
No,
practice.
Joey's wrong. Joey Logano was wrong. He cheated Penske. Yeah.
Cheat Penske's man.
What do you think about North Wilkesboro being a points race? And it can't be next year because we already are coming back here for the All-Star race, but 2 years.
Yes. Love it.
That's you got to think that's what they're doing, right? Like, 100%. There's no way you put this much money into a track to run a non-exhibition race every year. Like, I mean, the
Yeah.
All-Star race is half meant for trying out new things, which is why they're on the option tire and everything this year. But I mean, part of that the past few years or past couple of years and next year has got to be, you know, to be practice for the track. You know what I mean? Like get the track up to snuff, do repairs on it, raise some money for it, I guess even. But
What was that?
yeah, was that from you?
Was it me?
Yeah, there was something. I don't know if the fucking storms were
Animal?
rolling in, and I don't know. It's like 2 of the 3 are behind me. The other one's probably sleeping. So
Yeah. But anyway,
But,
I mean, that's got to be part of the test for this thing, you know. They got to be planning to bring it back for a points race for sure.
And you think you'd want it like now would be the time to take the All-Star race back to Charlotte. The 1.5 package, for as much as we talk shit about this car everywhere else, the 1.5 package is amazing.
Yep.
So why would you not want an All-Star race there?
Hey,
that's
man,
why I don't get why we're not doing it next year. Like we know the 1.5s are good. Let's go.
I'll speak in defense of NASCAR a little bit here. I'm wondering if maybe because they do use the All-Star race as their experimental race, so maybe they're concerned that
short track test.
Yes, they won't hit the short track package by then, so it gives them another shot to try something else,
right?
Drastic if they don't have it figured out by then. So maybe that's the thought, or maybe they're just super slow to react. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to ask you guys this question, and as you guys answer it, I'm going to go check whatever the hell's going on upstairs. But which was the bigger gimmick, underglow or option tires?
Gimmick? Well, I'd have to say underglow.
Yeah, because that was just gimmicky from straight up, but the option tires are actually meant.
They're meant to do something
for performance standards.
Yeah,
but underglow does make you go faster. So.
I did like I always say, I think the underglow was a great idea that was terribly executed.
Horribly.
It could have been so much cooler than it was.
Yeah, why would you just put it behind the bumper? Like
put it behind the bumper, and why would you predetermine all the colors that the teams?
Force the colors.
Like
awful idea.
Let them match it to their paint schemes and run it all the way around the car, and it would have looked amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, how are you going to sit there and like talk about this underglow and have all these cool shots with the car with all this underglow and the matching color, and then you get to it and it's like one light behind the bumper and it's got to be orange. It's like
right,
yeah, that was so.
It was like manufacturer dependent, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think so,
it was like a super weird thing, like not even like team related, or like it was just so weird. It was just, somebody didn't think it all the way through.
100%. That or being that it was manufacturer based. They didn't like it for some reason, which I don't know. You got to grow your sport, man. Do something cool. It'll help. But I don't know. I thought it was better than last year as far as the racing goes. The option tire didn't hit, but
it depends. I think that what was it, the heat or whatever it was where they ran the wet weather tires? That was really good last year.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it sucked. But I think that one portion where they ran the wet weather tires was better than this year. But then the rest of it was definitely worse.
So I'll say this about that. The only reason I think that was better, because apparently these option tires were the same
the same compound.
Right? Same rubber, yeah. But we had tread. Yeah, we had tread. So you have less grip. It's what we need.
Contact patch.
Yep.
And I was really confused when they announced it. I think you and I were both confused.
Yeah.
I thought they were running
it sounded like it was a treaded
tire when they first announced it, but I think it was just worded weirdly.
I think that's how Bob's tweet was. It was just weirdly worded, but yeah.
So I was thinking they were going to run the wet weather compound with like a groove or something. I didn't think it was going to be like fully treaded, but I thought it would like have some sort of groove in it. But
yep, that was my understanding too. So let's do we go for the major news after or the major news before?
What major news?
Let's go to the afterward. Let's just go to the lap 2 incident with Kyle Busch and Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Yes.
Lap 1. Ricky forces it 3 wide. Kyle gets into the wall, chases Ricky down, and wrecks Ricky. First of all, did they touch?
Man. From
on
the
lap 1,
I saw it looked like they did.
It
was late contact, but it looks like it did.
Mm.
You see
I can
Kyle's
see it.
left fender go up.
I
Mm.
mean, I feel like it was one of those things where Ricky put him in a position where he had to lift or not, and he didn't.
Yeah, that's kind of what
Yeah.
it was. I mean, he ran him out of racetrack. Like,
Yep.
so
He
I
had
don't know.
plenty of room. He Denny
Yeah, plenty of room.
Hamlined him
You could have
at
parked a
Pocono.
semi truck up. No, that wasn't near as bad as Denny Hamlin. Then they weren't even close to the wall when Denny did it.
Kyle had a lot of room. He had a lot
There's
of
a
room. He
wall
still
there.
hit the wall.
There's a
Yeah,
wall
there
there.
was
It's
when
painted
Denny
red and
took
white.
out
Did you not
Kyle.
see it?
Oh, I saw it. There was a good half car length in between Ricky and
Half car length? Did you get out
Kyle.
and measure?
Yeah, I got my
Yeah.
tape measure out. Went.
I don't think so. I mean, maybe in the corner, but on corner exit, there
corner
definitely
exit,
was
there was
not.
room. There was
Nah.
room. Yeah.
Nah.
Yep.
All right, we're finding a screenshot. Twitter.
We're going to be arguing this for a while in Discord. I feel like it. But so after the incident, obviously Ricky's junked. We get a news report from the media center where Ricky says, "I can't leave," and he's going to find Kyle after the race. He found Kyle after the race.
You sure did.
Good right hook, and then good
loose.
scuffle.
Yeah. And his dad was involved too. I think Kyle
His dad
got
a
it.
fucking right hook.
Yeah, he
That
did.
made me laugh.
Ricky Sr.
So who did it better with the right hook, Ross or Ricky?
I'm gonna say Ross because Noah was coming at Ross and he like he ducked and weaved and hit him if I remember right. Like it wasn't like Ross just cold cocked Noah like Ricky did. Ross actually played a little defense before throwing the punch, so I think Ross's was better.
Yep, I agree. It was Ross. Austin, what do you think?
I think Ross. Not to take anything really away from Ricky's, but I think Ross did it better.
I agree. Both were solid, but yeah, Ross gets the edge there.
Yeah.
I don't know why like 800 people jumped in though. That pisses me off.
Yeah. I always hate that, dude. Like, why is his dad jumping on it? Like,
his dad and like 3 crew guys were there.
Right. And I like I feel like it should
his dad should not have gotten in there.
It should be like a hockey fight where the two guys are fighting, and if other guys also want to get in on the fight, they'll fight each other. But
well, that's NASCAR security, man. Like that fucking same guy that stopped the Noah and Ross thing stops this instantly. But then we get lucky and there's crew goes at it and makes it a little bit more exciting. But
I feel like it's not even security. I feel like it's like asset protection. Like if those guys get too into it and hurt each other and can't drive the next week, the teams are mad. NASCAR's mad. The sponsors are mad.
That's a great point, but why? But like somebody then needs to stop the other 3 guys that are jumping in that aren't Ricky. Like I think everybody who hit Kyle that was not Ricky Stenhouse Jr. needs to have some sort of ban or something. Like maybe temporary, whatever. But like there needs to be some sort of penalty because like crew guys and family members should not be jumping into a scuffle.
He's not going to hurt. He's not going to kill my boy.
What did Logano's? Didn't Logano's dad get suspended or something for the season?
I feel like I remember that.
No, I thought his dad was really mad. But
somebody's dad got suspended.
I thought that was more recent than the Joey Matt Kenta thing.
There was a thing. I can't remember what the heck it was though.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I don't know.
Yeah,
but they did. It wasn't Gragson. NASCAR.
I am thinking it's one of the younger like rookies within the last couple of years, right? Or am I wrong on that one? I don't know.
You're right.
I don't think his dad should have stepped in. His dad said he was trying to break it up. It's like, dude, you had him by the collar. Like, don't
he was
fucking
throwing
lie.
punches at Kyle. Fuck off.
Yeah.
You're trying to break it up.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Like crew members can go at crew members. I have no problem with that, but don't have your 60-something-year-old dad go after Kyle Busch. Like, Jesus Christ.
Was it Joey and Denny at Martinsville? You remember when Denny and Joey got into the fight and then that one crew guy grabbed Denny and ripped him back?
Yeah. I do remember that guy got suspended.
Right. Yeah. Like, that's unacceptable. So if that's unacceptable, everybody who went after Kyle, who was knocked down on tires, should also get some sort of penalty of some kind. Because, I mean, clearly Kyle wasn't a threat. The security guy already yanked Ricky back. So, I don't know. maybe NASCAR just needs to get more security when they know there's going to be an altercation, so they can kind of control it
Well,
better. Like,
they
I don't know.
but they
I don't know what
knew
the answer is.
because I thought I saw it. It was like around like lap 150 or something. Like NASCAR was like, all right, we need security, we need extra security. Like
They only had
around
the
They
one
the
guy
had
from the
90
start.
minutes. They had
Yeah, I
90
know.
minutes to get ready.
Yeah,
Well,
they
I
had a while.
guess in their defense, no one could go in and out of the track. So if they had more security that wasn't in the infield, then they kind of couldn't be there. But
They
Yeah.
could've found somebody,
they knew it
couple
was
of fixes
coming.
or something.
I mean, Ricky said on his interview, he said, I'm gonna go beat his ass. So
Apparently, they told Kyle he was going to be looking for him too. So everybody
I mean,
was prepared.
NASCAR doesn't want
And-
to stop it from happening. Let's make that clear. NASCAR
Yeah,
does not
that's
want to
great.
stop. They do not want to stop the altercation from happening. They
Right.
do not want it to escalate to a point where someone's getting their face beat in over an on-track incident. They want the publicity. They want drivers to be able to like work this stuff out because it's part of the sport. Like, in a less cynical view, they want them to be able to like talk to each other and fight and whatever. They just don't want it to reach a point where someone's getting actually hurt. So that's they're not going to pull Ricky out from next to Kyle's trailer. You know what I mean? They have no intent of doing that. They just don't want the fight to escalate. But they are more than fine with them punching.
They seem like they want to have the fight, but they don't want everybody to know they want the fight. Even though
they
want the fight.
How many times have they showed that clip of Kyle Busch with the blood running down his face?
A billion.
Like that's in like half the promos for NASCAR these days. It's Kyle Busch with blood running down his face.
There was more tweets about the fight than there was about Joey winning the All-Star race from the NASCAR.
Sure. That's why they wanted it, because they didn't want to be like Joey Logano led all but one lap.
Oh, they're super excited it happened for that.
Yeah, they're like,
overshadow,
like,
please.
You went from a dog shit All-Star race to now we have clips that are being talked about in the Pat McAfee shows.
ESPN, Bleacher Report, they're all tweeting about it. So
NASCAR should send Ricky and Kyle a fucking fruit basket.
And I'm not mad at it. Like, let that happen. Like, let NASCAR allow that to happen.
I just want the fight to be able to happen a little bit more, like between the drivers. I hate this. Like, I didn't like it with Ross. I don't like it with Ricky. Like, I don't like the one guy gets a punch in and then it gets broken up. I'd like to see. Let's see him just throw a couple back and forth here for a second, and then we'll break it up. But then you can always
see Kyle get his ass beat.
I want to see Kyle fucking throw one at Ricky. But
Kyle's getting his ass kicked in that fight.
I don't think
100%. Oh yeah.
Nah.
We got to shout out Kyle's crew guy for just like hucking guys off the hauler too. He's like,
get off my hauler.
You're gone. You're gone.
You see Ricky parked his car in Kyle's pit box.
Oh yeah, that was.
I was the 8 pit crew. I am fucking with that car. I am ripping shit out of it. I'm taking it home with me. You park it in my box, and I gotta move it. I'm taking it.
I knew once he did that, I knew he was swinging after.
I'm just glad he did it. Like, we have all this talk where like guys just sit there and, I'm gonna wreck him. Like Truex is awful with it. Finally, somebody does anything, and like, I didn't think it was gonna happen. Like they're sitting there talking, and then Ricky just hits. I was like, oh shit! But I like after the fight though, when Ricky says he's gonna wreck Kyle next week, and Kyle goes, "I'm just as shit as you," or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, I think it just came out. Yeah, Richard said they were both him and Ricky were at some like fundraiser thing, and he told him, he said, "I'll beat your ass if you touch the 8 car next week."
Yeah, he'll personally beat his ass. I would love to see that.
Yes, Mr. 80-year-old man will beat up a young.
Dude, I don't care. I still love that.
It is great. But
I love an owner that is going to just tell you that I told him I will kick his ass.
That's old school, baby. I love it.
Not Rick Hendrick running to Chevy like, tell Ross to stop wrecking my cars, please. Like, fuck that. Get out. I don't care. Will RC really kick Stenhouse's ass? No, but I mean, I think he'd try.
Didn't we hear the same thing about Joe Gibbs at the beginning of the whole Denny Ross thing? I swear. The whole like I'm gonna kick his ass myself or something like that. There was another owner that did it, and then you had Hendrick go in and just like pull the corporate card on Ross, and there was a whole thing with.
I'd be shocked if it was Joe Gibbs that said that. I can't see.
I'm trying to think who it was.
Gibbs wouldn't say that.
Gibbs is very, very tight-lipped.
I'll have to go look, but it was somebody that Ross wrecked that was upset about it.
Long list.
Oh yeah.
I'm just kidding. No, I don't know. I know drivers that were mad and stuff, but I can't think of any owner other than the Hendrick thing.
Yeah. There was somebody a while back, a couple years, but all right. I don't know. I'm here for the fight, but I agree. Let them go on a little bit longer between the
Just a
drivers.
couple.
Yeah.
5 or 10
Well,
seconds.
haymakers,
That's
call
all
it
you
a day.
need.
Yeah.
You know, if you let that happen with someone like Carl Edwards, though, psychopath, and that guy's done. Guy's out for the season.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
So last
I
thing
don't
for the cup race, and kind of a gripe that I have with it. The race is delayed 30 minutes because of Kyle Larson running qualifying for the Indy 500.
Woo.
Why? Why did we push this
I get
back?
why. But here's what I think they should have done. To
He was
me,
there an hour early.
I know. But it's just that air of like Hendrick favoritism that you feel
Oh,
like
100%.
that exists. Like, would they do that for anyone else? I don't
No.
know. I don't know they would. Like,
They
I don't know
wouldn't.
why they didn't just last year. You knew Kyle Larson was doing this. Why don't you just get ahead of it and just schedule the race a half hour later?
Yeah,
like
that's
on
true.
paper, so you don't have
Yeah.
to move it and create this storyline. Like, I don't know.
Or
It's
do it
fair.
on Saturday like you always do.
I mean, they wouldn't do it for
Yeah, the
Michael
All-Star race
McDowell.
did always used to be on Saturday, didn't it?
Yeah,
Yep.
a Saturday night. Just do
Yeah,
that.
Sunday night's lame.
And Indy's not
100%.
qualifying that late on Saturday,
It's
right?
gonna stay Sunday
So,
night because I saw they're up 17% too.
yeah, that's
So I
all
guess
that.
it's
Yeah.
never moving off of Sunday now.
Yeah,
That race. Yep.
I
not
feel
a
like the only
school
reason
night.
it was up was because of Kyle Larson, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's get in the truck race. I don't think we got anything else for the cup race.
No,
Really?
I don't think so.
Not really.
It sucked. Joey led every lap except one. Kyle Busch, Ricky Stenhouse. I don't think so. I think that's about it.
We'll find
Yeah.
out if the All-Star race is better at Charlotte this week if the racing's good. But
Yeah.
truck race. I missed the first 80 laps because I was at Road America, but it rained on Saturday.
Oh yeah.
If you did not see this, the water was over pit wall, and you had guys doing belly flops off of it and swimming in it, which is disgusting because
yeah.
there's porta potties floating in the hedge.
That's all that.
But,
Hey man,
Lake North
I would.
Wilkesboro.
I would have done
Yeah.
it. That would have been fun.
It gets all diluted. You're fine.
I
Yeah,
would
I
have
just don't
too.
think about it.
Yeah.
Lake and swimming's got poop in it. Stay on
Yeah.
them out.
Yeah, but I've never seen anything like that. Apparently, they got 5 inches of rain in 90 minutes, which is crazy.
Yeah, it was storming like crazy over here that weekend.
Oh, so now now 5 inches is a lot, huh?
It's always been
She told me.
something different.
Weird. That's funny.
Interesting.
Not what I heard.
Hmm.
I'd say 3
Like
inches.
you could do 5 inches in 90 minutes.
I mean, you
That's
saw like
right?
5 inches of
90
water.
seconds, maybe.
Yeah. God.
5 inches of water covered the pit wall. So yeah, I'd say it's quite.
I'd say it does the job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd say you could have done just as fine with 3 inches of rain. You know,
Could've been just fine.
2.5 even. You know?
Yeah, that would have been knee high easy.
Yeah, easy. That's plenty.
Yeah.
Plenty.
man.
Well, we get back to racing though on Sunday, and man, Corey Heim, unstoppable in the truck series, unless if Dean Thompson's running next to him.
Time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, wins at Kansas, should have won at Darlington, and dominated this race after the first half. Roger was up there for a while and spun himself out. That was
Yeah, it sucked.
another mistake, man.
I think old
He just needs
Butterbean
to
would have
get
had
together.
something for Heim though, had he not had
Dude.
that speeding penalty.
Yeah, 100%. So Butterbean, Queen, got
Mm.
where do you end up? 5th?
4th or 5th, something like that.
Yeah, we decided not to show the racing for 2nd through 5th at the end of the
Oh
race.
my god, fucking Fox, dude.
Like that's the only thing I cared about. Like Heim had a 3+ second lead, and we have awesome racing for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th with a 5th place car coming up, and we cut away from it. And you can see in the background they're 3 freaking wide, and don't talk about it. It's like, come on. But no, awesome run. All these, guys that are getting brought up with Junior and Spire and stuff like that are all running well. You had Quapple, you have Butterbean and Bubba Pollard. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with these guys because they're gonna find rides. 100%. It's all I have for North Wilkesboro.
I want to try and
Anybody
go.
else
I
got
saw tickets are starting to like $50-ish next year, so I definitely want to try and make it up
Really?
there. Yeah.
If I lived closer, I would 100% go because it looks like a lot of fun. It looks like better racing than like Martinsville or something like that.
Yeah.
So, and
True.
I don't know if you guys could hear during like driver introductions and stuff like that. They were playing music over the loudspeakers, and fans are singing to it. And it sounded like a football game or like
Yeah.
soccer match or something like that. It was like, damn, I've never seen a NASCAR race like that. But
That's
yeah, no, like I said, if I could go, I would, because it looks like a good time. I'm sure the tailgating and that around there's pretty good too.
not as good as our tailgate's going to be this Sunday. I'll tell you that.
But videos are it didn't happen.
Well, we'll send them.
We need a full drunk report from Charlotte posted to
Yeah.
her TikTok.
Joe, you and me, we got to do a good tipsy interview, tipsy segment.
Yeah, we'll be reporting live from 600, so we'll get some content from the tailgate and all that.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Oh yeah,
Get some fan comments. Just go around and talk to fans.
Oh
So,
yeah,
I mean,
they'll
we're
be swarming.
we're gonna have like 20, 30 people at our tailgate, so we got plenty.
Oh fuck yeah!
plenty of
Just
fans
ask them
to pull from.
who's gonna win tomorrow or tonight or whatever, and just like,
Yeah,
No
We'll
one's gonna
edit it
know a
up.
single driver. It's gonna be great.
it'd be
perfect.
like that. The couple years ago, that Tennessee Titans did their schedule.
Yes, yeah.
Review or I can't think of the word. Reveal.
That's the
And they got,
Dallas
like-
Cowboys, and it's the Colts logo.
Yeah, and they got some random chick on Broadway in Nashville, and she just was like, I don't know any of these teams and had the funniest names for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did it again with that girl. It wasn't that good this year. I was pretty disappointed
Yeah.
with it.
That wasn't that fun.
So, I guess the other news of this weekend would be Kyle Larson. Good qualifying job
Amazing.
at Indy. P5.
Amazing qualifying. Yeah, that's
No, it was really great, really good.
it was sketchy there for a little bit too, because I think in his first qualifying run he had like some sort of he
Yeah,
had like an
car
overboost
died.
issue. Well, I guess it's like some weird thing. Like when you do the downshifts, like it registers too much boost, so it's like some sort of penalty thing. Like I don't know if it's just like an issue with where they had their settings set at. But yeah, I guess he was coming out of like turn 2, his first or second lap, and it just like sputtered, and he just lifted because he didn't want to blow it up. So he didn't set a time for his first run. Had to run later in the day.
Yeah, and I mean, he made it.
He did.
But I gotta say, Penske being 1, 2, 3 at Indy, and
Yeah.
not a little bit faster, a lot faster, like 8 tenths of a second faster.
Cheating Penske's, baby.
Man, that push to pass really makes them quick. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it does.
Man,
The Penske cars lock out the front row at the Penske track and the Penske Racing Series. So weird.
Weird,
Yeah.
huh?
and I'm just saying, you can't take away their qualifying spot when, a month later when they decide to penalize them. So,
Yeah.
Can't do it.
yeah.
Also, we got to talk about NBC's coverage of that qualifying, because
Dude,
holy cow, that was good.
Lee Diffie calling Kyle
Elite.
Larson
Elite.
on his I forget which lap it was that was really good. It wasn't his like final one because I didn't watch that. It was like
I think it was his second.
no, I'm talking about earlier in the day. It might have been the one
It was
to
the
get
12.
him into the round of 12.
Yeah.
And just he called him from the backstretch to the stripe. It was like one of the best calls ever. It was insane. That's like Fox can't even call a side-by-side race for the win this good.
Yeah. Did
Yeah,
you guys see the post about Mike Joy's call for Joey Logano winning this weekend?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was so.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, it's as bad as you kind of expect anymore.
I mean, end of the day, like I'm sure, and I know I always say Fox is using their D-list people who are trained to get up to the big leagues. I'm sure NBC does the same thing with NASCAR. They just happen to be better. I'm sure that like they definitely do not have their A-list on IndyCar. However, for the Indy 500, they definitely do. And when it's amazing how much of a difference, how much more of a broadcast you can ignore if the broadcasters, like the commentators, are energetic, into it, informed, whatever. Like I'm sure if like Mike Joy and Clint and Kevin were out there like energetically calling everything, or just like sounding informed, not just like sounding drunk half the time, we'd probably ignore a lot, and we probably wouldn't complain nearly as much about Fox. Like, okay, they have a zoomed in shot. Who cares? Because they're calling everything with such enthusiasm. I feel like it's and that's to NBC's, credit, I guess, is their commentators for the 500 for NASCAR are just that much better, that much more into what they're watching.
Yeah.
It sounds like, at least, that even if NBC's still using their D list, people are training to one day make it to like football or baseball or whatever, then we don't notice it nearly as much. So, again, to the Indy 500, same thing. We don't, again, they're probably using their A-list people for the 500. Every other race, I don't, not that we are religiously watching IndyCar, but their commentators consistently sound actually enthusiastic, and
you have
we
those
ignore a lot of stuff.
silly ghost cars that Fox has for quality. I just want to see
that.
Give me
cargo.
raw.
I want to see
I
cargo
want the
fast.
slider.
Yeah.
Give me the slider.
Yeah.
Yes, dude. That was elite.
You can just do like the pole sitter, and then current guy is minus or plus to him.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
was it Nextel or Sprint whenever they did that? Like, like you would show, it would like show, the slider.
They used to do that years and years ago. They did it forever.
Yeah,
Like,
I
before then.
specifically remember it being like Nextel sponsor. Like,
I don't think it was like specifically a Nextel thing.
For
they might
sure.
have sponsored it when they did their run.
Yeah, I was just trying to remember.
All right, question then. I saw this kicked around on Twitter. Should the Daytona 500 do a similar qualifying like Indy? Assuming
They
Fox, like should they do like the qualifying and the practice that Indy does for Daytona 500?
I just want practice. Give me practice and I'm happy.
Yeah.
Dude, we need Daytona 500 to be what Daytona 5 used to be, or the 500 used to be, where you had, the whole speed weeks where it actually mattered what was going on. Now you have a clash that doesn't matter, and the shootout that doesn't matter.
At Indy. It's insane.
Yeah. That's the only reason. Like,
any of that.
I'm watching IndyCar because there's buildup. Like, I'm watching IndyCar. It's weird.
Right.
It's like we had the speed week for All-Star race we were just talking about, and the 600. We had speed weeks for Daytona. Now we don't have either of those. We have speed like half a week.
Right. It's
Daytona.
like we took these things that, maybe they weren't on paper like big giant events, but they helped tremendously contribute to the larger event that was later. But we decided that no, they can be their own independent thing. Well, now you're just hurting your bigger show. Like, so it was just like this whole thing. Like, that's why I think I know the Clash isn't always the greatest ones at Daytona, but it's not supposed to be. It's just part of it. It's part of the story. It's part of building things up. It's just
it's like their preseason race.
Hype.
Right.
It's their
preseason race. They're
hey, we got cars on track. We're back at Daytona. Let's go. Let's get hyped up. And it's that build up all week of Daytona week where each event, the next one is more important than the last. And it's just this gradual build until you get to the races on Friday night. Now you don't have that as much. The same thing with the All-Star race at Charlotte. Like, Indy proves how effective that can be.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. I 100% think it's just the older generation not getting the whole hype, trying to hype things up and make them more interesting.
I mean, I don't think it's the older generation.
I do.
Because I think they're the traditionalists that still want it. I think it's the newer generation who's like, this is boring. It doesn't serve a purpose. And then NASCAR's like, well, how do we make everything, every single moment super exciting?
Yeah.
Right.
True.
Yeah. I think the older generation, in my mind, likes tradition. They like things the way they were.
To an extent, yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah. Okay. Man. Let's see what we got. Trump coming to the 600. It's sounding like.
Yep.
Yeah, looks like
Bob posted this could hinder Kyle Larson doing the double. Start thinking about. I think it's going to be the opposite. I think this might actually help Larson get to the track a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got to think that it's communication, right? Like, hey, Trump security, we have a guy who's trying to get here. He's going to have to fly in your airspace. Like, you got to think there's some sort of communication going on.
Well, I think I was reading too, because he's not the actual president. The no-fly zone's not as.
There's.
I mean, still got to get
a restriction.
Yeah, it's a less of a restriction. So all I know is security is going to blow. So
me and Joe went to the 500 in 2020 when Trump was there. Like, we had hot passes, and so getting in the infield every day leading up to Sunday was fine. Like, it was pretty quick. It was just like a quick security check. Take your keys out of your pockets, check your bag, whatever. And then on Sunday, it was probably
Like
an
an
hour
hour
and
at
a half,
least.
2 hours. Like it was a long time because they have to have Secret Service do security for everybody on top of regular security. So it's just like a lot more intense, like feels like TSA almost, like taking everything, like very much more in depth, obviously understandably, especially that time when he was president. But regardless how I feel about the guy, I'm not excited for him to be there because of the added security it's going to be getting into the track, and it's going to cut down on my tailgate time. So
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. But
but
Yeah.
this all could be moot if it rains anyway. So knock on wood. But
I don't.
forecast
You
is
want to
looking
talk
iffy.
about
I
it.
don't. No, I don't think. I hope
So,
not.
speaking of that, and we just mentioned this real quick before we started the stream, is it still the double if the Indy 500 and the 600 are not on the same day?
No, absolutely not.
No.
That's like saying, you still run the 24 hours of Daytona if you run 12 hours one day, 3 days later come back and run the next 12. Like, no, it's not.
I thought you were gonna say 12 hours one day and 12 hours after. Like, that's how it works.
Yeah, that is in fact how that generally happens. So
you can't consider it the traditional double. Like you still did both, but it's not the double. So
yeah, you're not doing it all on one single day. You're not like rushing from the 500 to the 600.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't get a rest. It's just bam, bam.
I did the double Daytona 500 and
miles.
Indy 500. So because I ran the
we hope
Daytona
not.
500 in
Right.
February and the Indy 500 in May. So I
it's
did the
not
double,
the same.
guys.
Zach's still trying to
triple.
figure out how to do the triple.
Yeah.
Which we figured out can not happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an extra in Brad Pitt's movie.
Well, it wasn't the triple. We were trying to figure out if you could do the double from Monaco to Charlotte, if you could do that double. But turns out
we couldn't do that, right? Yeah.
What?
No.
Is it just like timing with flights and stuff?
Yeah. I was just trying to like if you in theory, if you wanted it, like even just like a fan, like I want to watch Monaco in the morning and then get to Charlotte, can you do it? And there's not enough time. I think the flights take too long.
Really?
Yeah.
Rent out a fighter jet.
I think we came within like an hour of race start.
Okay.
Yeah, you would miss like the start of it or something.
Rain delay.
Yeah. It was something with it's like a 12-hour flight or something like that. But we have a question from chat.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm not American. What is tailgate? It sounds like fun.
Oh, boy.
This reference.
It's a hoot. It's
a party.
We just hang out for a few hours for the race. We grill burgers, hot dogs, drink beer, play cornhole, just have a grand old time.
Guess I don't know what cornhole is. It's a game.
It's
play games.
Play yard games. Games to play outside. It's a grand time.
Drink beer, alcohol.
Yeah. I gotta clean up.
It's a pregame.
Yeah, your pregame. I gotta clean up the grill actually this week and get it all ready up.
Some people said they were bringing a grill as well, so we might double grill it up.
Double grill.
What's on the menu?
Just hot dogs and burgers, I think.
Dogs and burgers, yeah.
Just keeping it simple. Nothing too crazy.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Zach?
Yeah. And then we'll think we're gonna try
this weekend.
Chicken wings. The only thing to be on the menu.
Yeah.
Nice. I think we're gonna try and set up a TV for Indy. Hopefully it doesn't rain there either. But
yeah. What I really wanted to do, and I think I'm gonna wait for a year wherever it's 100% not gonna rain, like coming up to the weekend, is like get there early in the morning and bring my smoker and just throw on some ribs or a brisket or something, roast them for like 8 hours, have them ready a couple hours for the race. Oh, that's like the dream.
And then you can bring them in. You can just wrap them in foil and bring them.
Exactly. Yeah. But I think with the current forecast, I don't think it'd be worth doing all that work just for it to probably rain and not be able to smoke.
It's so annoying because if you look at the forecast, Monaco is like completely sunny, 0 chance of rain, and then Indy and the Coke 600 both have a concerning chance for rain. So it's like the exact opposite of what you want.
Yeah. Indy's 80 and Coke is 40 at the moment.
So it's still the double if it's on Monday though, right?
If you do the same day.
Same day. I would say so. Yeah, it's gotta be same day.
They're gonna move the Indy 500 up like 2 hours just so it's easier for Larson to watch.
I mean, if they get it in, I wouldn't hate it because last year this day was ruined for me because the Coke 600 got rained out. So if they want to move it up to get it in and it works,
hey, we still tailgated last year on the Sunday.
Yep,
we sure did.
Yep.
It's just a harder sell getting other people up there. Me and Joe will be there, but
We'll be there.
I'm not sure who else will be joining us.
So the 2025 Hall of Fame class has been announced. We have Carl Edwards as a modern era, Ricky Rudd also. Then you got the pioneer ballot of Ralph Moody, which deservingly he should be on there. And landmark award. I didn't know this guy's name, but Dean Sicking is the creator of the Safer Barrier, which
Yeah,
I'm
that's
surprised
a
he's
good
not
one.
in already.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm
What-
surprised.
I don't know
only
what
now.
the qualification is, like how many years? Because I mean, that's been around for
Since
22
Dale
years
Sr..
now. Yeah.
Like that was like the year Dale Sr. died, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Was it?
So,
I can't remember if it was that year or the year after that they really
I'm
started
pretty sure
pushing it.
that year they started implementing it, or at least designing it and stuff.
Well, and see, that's what gets me. So this is the creator of it, but I thought it was like, wasn't it a college that did it?
Oh, I don't know that.
I thought it was like Purdue or something like that. were
Yeah, it was
the-
somewhere in the Midwest that did it. I forget who it was.
But maybe they're just testing it out. I don't know. But no, I mean, Safer Barrier is one of the biggest things that happened in NASCAR in a very long time. So
Mhm.
welcome to the Hall of Fame, man. Didn't know your name, but you should be in there. Let's move on to kill count. We didn't have any because we didn't All-Star race just doesn't count to me.
We don't count
And
we don't count it.
No.
Kyle doesn't
Yeah.
get one. Nice.
No, Kyle 2.
Off the hook on that one.
I will say in the old car, I don't think Ricky stuffs it in the fence. I think he did that overcorrecting thing and that, where they overcorrect and it shoots hard to the right.
Yeah.
I think in the
I
old
can
car
see
he
that.
just gets loose.
Yep. So Kyle doesn't get 2 more added to him.
Sweet.
But we do go back to Survivor.
2. Why would he have 2? Did
He
somebody else get
spun out
wrecked?
Ty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was just on a rampage.
Yeah.
He was killing everybody.
Love it.
So I don't remember what we picked last week because they didn't really matter, but I got last 2 weeks ago. So I'm going to go with Ty Gibbs.
Tyler Gibbs. Joseph, who you got?
I'm going with Chase Elliott. I'm going with my boy.
And Austin.
No one drives better than a pissed off KFB, so
It's
that's what
true.
we're going with this week.
Nice. I'll take Busher.
So that was like 2 weeks ago. I'm sitting there. I'm like, I'm going to pick Busher for the Coke 600. And then I looked at it earlier and I was like, I've already picked him. Shit. So I was like going through my list and like, oh, this is awful. It was like,
The timing seems right. He's good at Charlotte and he's been having some really good speed lately. So
yep.
Feels like a good time to pull the trigger on old Busher.
Yeah, almost won Kansas, could have won
He's owed a couple.
Darlington, and I think he is going to be very fast. I would like to know if Brad's running the orange car, because with Trump being there, we all know what happened at Miami for the F1 race. Just saying. Orange car won there. Orange car won. Just saying. Throwing it out there.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah, whatever team pit Trump goes to before, immediately bet them.
Freaking Cody Ware is going to show up with an orange car and win the race. Watch.
Oh gosh, please no.
Oh man, let's see. Boomer of the week. I didn't have one. I've been so busy. I haven't been able to look at it. I'll just go with Ricky's dad. That's the boomer of the week.
Perfect.
That's a good one.
Just a Survivor bets. Anybody take a look? I kind of like Busher at plus 1400.
Let me pull up.
I'd like it to be a little higher, but
yeah.
Other than that, nothing's catching my eye. It's still early in the week. We'll see.
Dog.
Yeah.
No, Austin's dog.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
No, I saw him walk in with him earlier. It's like, oh.
When you left for a second, your dog was sleeping on your couch is just like staring straight into your camera. Death stare.
Dude,
So-
amazing.
Big
Puppy.
weekend in front of us, guys. Got Monaco.
Hopefully
Start
it
off
doesn't rain.
Sunday. Oh,
Yeah.
Monaco. It's not going to rain.
Yeah, well,
Max-
Monaco.
Max going to win.
course.
Monaco paid off Mother Nature for that. So
Indy 500. Who's winning that one?
Kyle Larson. I am the 600.
Oh man, I think it's going to be Newgarden, but
them cheating
I got a plus 2,000 Kyle Larson ticket from January that I would love to cash, but I don't think that's. It might be hailing out right now. Yeah, and then we kind of already said who we thought for the Cup race. So, anybody else got anything?
Well,
for
we didn't say who we think. We just picked Survivor Pool. Who do I actually think?
Yeah, who do you think is going to win?
I don't know. Fords have kind of been strong past couple weeks.
I don't want to buy into that though. Like they were fast at Darlington, but Buescher was fast at Kansas too. So maybe.
So was Brad.
So was
the
Brad.
RFK cars. I mean, even Haley got up there. He did at Darlington too.
Yeah.
Penske hasn't done enough to make me say they'll be fast. I do think RFK has potential. I don't know. Who would I pick? Do I want to pick
I was
Toyota?
kind of thinking Blaney for a little while, and I'm just like, I don't see it. Like he's good at Charlotte, but I don't know. I'm not buying into the Penske speed yet.
I think my pick would be Denny Hamlin.
That's a good pick.
Yeah. I think Buescher, but
Buescher's another good one. He's like I said, my pick. I really do think he does have speed right now.
Yeah. Yep.
I think you William grab it.
Ooh. William on the rebound. He seems to be struggling a little bit after.
Yeah, he started off hot. Now he's kind of falling off, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I like to see him research.
Just gotta be hot at the right time.
Well, you always kind of wonder, like when somebody has multiple wins like that, like are they falling off because they're just trying goofy shit?
I hope so. Honestly,
I'm sure they are. They're experimenting a little bit.
I mean, I feel like with that, you kind of got to judge him off of how just Hendrick in general is doing. So if you got other Hendrick cars still running well, then to me that says maybe they're off because they're trying things or something.
Right. Yeah. I don't hate that there.
Yep. Yeah. We ready to end this episode, guys?
I think so.
Let's
cool.
Kill it.
Well, we will be back next week for Charlotte, Indy, Monaco recap. So make sure to like, follow, subscribe pretty much everywhere these days, and then listen to the podcast. We're on Spotify, Apple, all the other good ones. We're on Twitch now, live.
TTV,
we're on
by the way.
YouTube, live. We're everywhere because we're that damn big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drake and I will hopefully post some content from the 600, depending on how well our cell service is. But
probably not good.
Yeah, so probably not good.
I did forget something. We ran a poll on who had the better right hook, Ross or Ricky. Ross wins with 52.6% of the votes.
Where did we run that poll?
Sunday night.
Oh,
it's Sunday until this morning.
So. I pay attention to our Twitter.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
How do I not see our stuff? I'm on Twitter.
You literally posted a picture of Kyle punching Ricky's dad.
Did I?
In the comments.
You know what? No, there's another reason why I forget about that.
Yeah.
I just remembered what it was.
No. Drunk.
Yeah.
Me and my dad were drinking some. I forget what the hell it was, but it was like some sort of blueberry whiskey. It was interesting.
Was it Bird Dog or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gross.
It wasn't bad. I didn't hate
it. I have their blackberry whiskey because I got it one time because it came with a cool shotgun shell shot glass. And I was like, screw it. Like, let's try it. And I'm still sitting in my cabinet with like one pour out of it that I probably poured half of it.
I found once you got like 3 or 4 in, the taste became less.
Yeah, that's
you
a
don't
great point.
You don't taste it.
Great point.
Did you guys see the end of the what do they even call it? The NASCAR esports iRacing finish at Charlotte?
Yeah.
Oh, I just saw that. Yeah.
It was like a Kansas finish. Like, damn. That's crazy. But all right, yeah. Until next week. See you.
Bye.
I love you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Green White Checker Podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. For more from the boys and the podcast, be sure to follow us on Twitter at the GWC Pod for the podcast, at Biggles TV for Zach, at ShakenDrake_TTV for Austin, at Picks by Fitz for Andrew, and at J_Sully10 for Joe. Head over to thegwcpod.com to submit a question for our OnlyFans segment. Thanks again for listening, and we hope to catch you again next episode.
Football season may be over, but for frequency's sake still has you covered for all your sporting needs. Tune in every Sunday when the best professional wrestling podcast around, cards subject to change, gets you caught up on everything inside the ropes. They won't miss a count with weekly analysis and interviews. More into auto racing? We've got a double dose for you on the track. Tune in to Fast Money with Rod Villagomez each week and win some money with the quickest bets in all of sports. Want more insight from Pit Row? Check out the Green, White, and Checkered podcast where they give their insight on everything happening on and off the track. Need your basketball fix? Points in the Paint has you covered with live shows every other week looking at everything in the association. Backed by popular demand, we have the return of The Payoff Pitch, FFSQC's baseball show, covering you on news around the MLB. If you're missing football, don't fret. Mark and Dan still have you covered in the football lounge. Missing Joe Winkle? Probably not, but he's still here talking sports on Educated Ignorance. Football season might be over, but we've still got you covered. For frequency's sake, you know what we mean.
For Frequency's Sake is brought to you by Durham Remodeling, serving the Quad City area's remodeling and repair needs since 1973. Clint's Draft House, grab a bite and a pint. 7th Street Moline. Lopez, New York-style pizza served up by the slice or pie, Davenport. Lifted Energy, energy drinks, coffee, donuts, and more. #GetLifted. Atomic Sports Cards and Collectibles. Sports cards and memorabilia, vintage clothing, hats, pennants, and more. Ryan Allison Tattoo. Step into the vibrant world of tattoos with Ryan Allison. And A Cut Above, offering quality custom woodwork designed specifically around our customers.